Morning everybody, Rusty from the Rusty Razor. Another shave of the day. And today we're back to another sample of Haverford from Stirling. Oh, this is good stuff. Kind of imagine like the barber shop with more tobacco notes to it. It just smells like pipe tobacco. You know, very, very pleasant scent. Very rich, kind of a fermented tobacco. Very, very enjoyable. Like it a lot. And then that scent, you know, the richness. Well, you still got all the tobacco scents, but in the background, it's more diffused once you lather it up. But smells good. And today we're going to be using the 1986 Gillette Black Beauty with some Astra blades. There we go. Read upside down. Okay. And there we go. We'll get started on the day. I already have some Barbasol 1919 on the face. Makes an excellent pre-shave. You can shave with it really good too, but I find that it works really good as a pre-shave. So it finds its way at happy home into the daily shave. All right, so let's see. Let's get started on this. Man, suddenly I'm getting a mint. Why am I getting mint? It's like a mint in the background. That's odd. Not really a mint, but maybe it's like, you know, the fresh mint you get when you find it out, you know, outside and you crush it up. That's kind of the scent I'm getting all of a sudden. That's weird. I don't think there's mint in it, but that's what I'm smelling right now. It's like the brain is telling me one thing. All right, let's go with the downstroke here. We're on setting 3 today. Suppose I could crank it up. This is the second use of these Astras. It's like right now, I noticed that Astra blades, you can get 100 of them for $7 on Amazon. Like, I need to maybe order a few more. It's like I already got like 250 sitting up there right now, but it's not a bad price. $7. Buy a few more, get a couple more hundred, and maybe make it them and the those Gillette Wilkinson blades. Make them my primaries. I'll shave with them all the time. Now, if you noticed, if I haven't been commenting on people's videos lately, I have a reason for it. My computer gave up the ghost, and I always watch the videos. I can watch stuff on my phone, but you know, it's like when you got a phone, you're like looking at a little bitty screen. You're like, I'm not sure what I'm looking at, so I don't watch much videos on my phone. It's not a big deal that way, but my computer died. Then I watch videos on my iPad, and it is that's died. It's like everything's dying all of a sudden. And top things off, my stove, I was baking some fish, and all of a sudden I looked over there and it's like, oh, why did I leave the I didn't remember putting on the oven light on the stove in the oven, so I was like, oh, I better go turn that off. And then I looked, oh, wait a minute, that isn't, what am I, you know, all of a sudden I realized the oven's on fire. Like, yay. And so I looked over there and it's like, oh man, it's like, my wife was staying there. It's like, what's the matter? It's like, the oven's on fire. And she was like, will something catch on fire? Is it grease or something? I was like, no. And I looked at it, it's coming up from the sides, you know, from underneath where the element is, because it's electric stove. And you see this bright blue light going kind of thing, and then you see flames shooting up the sides inside the oven, and it's like turn it off. So she turns the oven off, and then it dies off. But basically, the element inside that heats the oven burned out and was burning, catching everything on fire, I think. So now I gotta figure out how to replace that. So yay. Not a fun thing you want to have to deal with. So now I gotta figure out how to replace that. It's like, thank you, Whirlpool. Yeah, the thing's only like, I guess it is about 7 years old now. And we replaced, the same thing happened to the previous oven. It caught on fire doing the same exact thing. And same thing happened to my brother at his home, but his house caught on because they weren't home. They had something in the oven when they went out, and come back to their house was engulfed in flames because the oven burned their house. But they always say never leave something unattended, because you'll get unintended consequences. That's the excitement. So now I'm looking at getting a new computer, fixing my oven, so it's one thing, it's another. Life drives on. Not to mention we're planning on replacing all the windows in our house. It's like we got a house is 44 years old, I think. Wasn't 44 years old when we moved in. House was only like 15 years old when we moved in here, but time flies. Raised 2 kids in this house. Never intended to live this long in this place, but you didn't, you know. My wife is like, I don't feel like moving anywhere. We'll just live here from now on. I'm like, okay, this wasn't the plan when we moved in, but you know, it is what it is. Man, this soap is good. Nice slick too. It smells wonderful. It's got a kind of a brownish tint. It's like when you see how dark that is, and when you lather it up, you get kind of a light beige tan type look to the soap. Not white by any means, but it smells so good. This is another one. It's like if I was to get a splash, this would be one I'll get a splash with. Just it smells wonderful. Astra blade's working good. So now I'm consulting with my son about what I should do about computers. Last one was like 7, 8 years old, so it's not like it was new. It's got a lot of use out of it. It's been dying for about a year now. You try to do a live stream with your friends, do a video like that, and a lot of times it would lock up, and everybody's like, oh, he's froze again. It's like, well, the internet wasn't that bad. It was the computer decided to lock up. Now, it will sort of boot up, and then it just goes to fatal error message. Like, and you get to the screen where you can see your desktop, and then it goes to the blue screen of death. Well, I could take it someplace and have it worked on. But all those best laid plans to maybe get another razor this summer, well, that's got to wait till fall now. Oh, that reminds me, something showed up in the mail all the way from China. I think it was Hong Kong is where it came from. Like right now, gotta figure out how to edit videos on my phone so I can put videos out. That's good. Have I ever said the story why I got the second razor? It's 86 because I had the 83, and right out of high school I bought the 1983 razor. Got my first job. I was working. Job position was lugger. I was working in a button factory right out of high school. Making a whopping $8 an hour, which wasn't bad then. $8 an hour back in the 80s, 1983. But my job was to take, they had these big round drums that would spin like a spin caster type thing, and they put the resin in and it would spin inside of it and then harden to a certain consistency. My job was to cut it out and get these long strap of resin. Then I would bring it into the next room where they would lay it on this table, cover it in talcum powder, and then there was this machine that goes it was you'd feed it in, and these rollers would suck it in, and this die would go punch down, and you would have the different size, and it'd punch out these blanks the same size of buttons that you wanted. And so you would have then they would put them in a vat, harden them, boil them kind of, and harden them, and then they would go to a different part of the factory, and they would go into the machines and put them in the machines, and they'd go around and they'd grind the holes in them and shape them. So that was my first job. But That I took that money I made from that job to buy my first razor. That, but it was 1986, going to visit my girlfriend, who's now my wife, and it was homecoming weekend up at the university, and I forgot my razor, so I ran over and from the hotel room, and the next morning, or I guess no, it was that night, I went over to Wally World and bought myself a new razor. And this one's kind of beat up because, well, it's seen a lot of use. It sort of became my travel one, and also in when I was in the military, it got stuck in my rucksack along with a can of Barbasol. So it was always running around inside the ruck. You always kind of put it in, sometimes in a Ziploc, sometimes I would forget, and it's kind of beat up a little bit, but yeah, still works. That was nice. That's why I have a second one. Alright, so we got some Avon Wild Country. Is that what it says? Yep, right there. Wild Country. You see it. Love this stuff. I don't think I got any weepers. Come out of there. There we go. It's an interesting combination between the two. Well, I'm not sure if I want to combine those two together again. I just don't seem to jive very well. But, you know, that was maybe. We'll just see how it comes out in the long run, towards the end of the day. Sometimes, you know, you can sell something now, and then later on, the more muskiness will probably come out, and that probably, because there's more citrus that you're getting. The citrus doesn't seem to be working too well. Okay, now it's mirroring up because I think the citrus is burning off. But that was Haverford from Stirling. Excellent. So, and the next time I'm going to get a tub of this and probably the splash to go with it. One of the few ones I've been saying, yep, I need to get the splash with that. All right, that was the Gillette Black Beauty 1986 with some Astra blades. And that was the shave of the day. So we'll hope you guys liked that one. And we'll talk with y'all later. Rusty out.